Good morning, guys. Today I am going to be out in my backyard, just sprucing things up. I do have a list of things I want to get done. We'll see how far I get. Look at this cute little finch. Ugh, I love that bird. It's one of my favorite birds. I am wanting to clean the grass line right here. It's a weed grass, like a crabgrass. I'm wanting to clean that up and possibly plant something there. I need to prune some zinnias that are already needing pruning. I need to prune up my geraniums. I have some pots I need to pot up. I found this fountain on the side of the road for free, and so I just threw it together really quick, and I'm kind of wanting to put like some pots around it to make it just look a little bit more natural. I have this pot down here that I need to pot up. I want to put a zucchini close to my house, try that this year to keep an eye on it from the squash bug and all that good stuff. I'm wanting to paint those two pots just a more neutral color. Again, that was kind of thrown together. Those are perennials that grow. They've grown back probably for 10 years in that pot. I want to pot up a lettuce plant. Gosh, I have a whole list. But let's take a peek of my backyard. Let's go around this way. This year, I really just want everything to be super simple. I just have my saved geraniums from last year. These could be 2 or 3 years old. I save geraniums every year. I call this kind of my hospital plants because they're not in the best shape. So let's just go ahead and start with pruning those. We've got some dead stems here that need to be cut off. Oh, golly, I've got to get some sharper pruners. Hold on just a second. Okay, here we go. These are just simple Rubbermaid pruners or scissors, a lot better. And this one you can see is dead, and I'll just cut it until it has new growth. Again, until you see the new growth. And this just helps the plant thrive and bounce back. Get this right here. Cut off any stems that look a little worn out. That looks a lot better. Let's start here. And you can easily take these off with your hands, but sometimes it's just easier. Here's another dead branch. We might go all the way down. I know that's painful. So painful. And we go all the way down on this one. This one's looking pretty healthy for the most part. Bounced back pretty good. I've put fertilizer, a slow release fertilizer in these already. There we go. There's that nice green. this little dead guy. Cut him off. And this one's looking pretty good too. And sometimes I'll just prune the leaves that I don't like either. Like, I don't really like the way that one's going. Off you go. Kind of move the plant around. There we go. There's my little geranium tower. I love geraniums. And then over here, more that need to be cut. And that one's kind of wild. Just gonna cut it. More energy will be shot into this. This too. Don't be afraid to prune. Just like our skin, new growth will happen when we cut ourselves. New growth, new skin heals itself, just like with the plant. Okay, get this little guy right here. Straggler. That looks a little better. Here's an example of a plant that I separated 3 ways. This is basil, and honestly, it has looked sad for weeks, but it's just now starting to bounce back with new growth, and so I think there's hope here. There's new growth under here too, right there. But you see how it just looks kind of sad. Here's the other plant that I separated. His leaf is just looking like, I'm not very happy. But then there's new growth. So I think it's gonna bounce back. I might just take this leaf with a little marking off. I could just take them all off. That'll help send the energy in the new growth. I can eat this for lunch. Okay, let's take a look at this. So I just put that pond in a couple days ago, and it's been working good. I need to find something to put in it to keep it clean. My whiskey barrels with sweet peas are doing great. They're starting to blossom. Show you those. Just a few blossoms. The weather has been absolutely perfect. I'm gonna train these guys to go up the teepees. These are my old sunflower stalks that I saved. I've been using them for little teepees and trellises for my summer plants. I'm wanting to put a couple things here, and then I have another couple pots that I might put on the back. I've got more stones, I just haven't moved them yet. Here is a pot that I want to plant some lettuce, and this is just old debris that I've picked up from my yard. Instead of using like foam or peanuts, foam peanuts, I just use old debris. And this makes it so you don't have to fill the pot completely up. And this just composts, and I think it's just overall more healthy and less expensive for sure. Okay. Need to clean up my deck. Here's this view. I made a trellis out of a couple of corn stalks. Here's just a normal trellis. And then behind here, I have this clematis, and it's starting to really take off. Here are some morning glories and more sweet peas, or sugar snap peas, I should say. It's not the flowers, it's the peas that you can eat. Here's a scan of the yard this way. So I need to clean this up here in a minute. I'm gonna go over to this part of my landscaping and trim some zinnias, or see if the zinnias need to be trimmed. And I think they do. Okay, so these are the baby leaves. These are the first real leaves. And so what I need to do, and this is super painful, is trim right there. So here we go. And then you see there's 2 new leaves. So this will bloom a lot better if you trim it off with your head. It's so sad. Look how beautiful that plant is. Here we go. I don't know if this one's ready. I'm gonna cut these bad looking leaves though, that something has been eating them. I've been spraying them with some soap and water. Okay, so again, these are the beginning leaves. These are the new growth. And so I'm just gonna snip right above here and trust. First leaves, second leaf. Here we go. First, second, and be careful. Snippy-doo. And looky there, there's already a flower. First, second. I'm just gonna go right here. And that will grow a new one right there. Oops, sorry. Let's see. First, second. Let's go right here. And if you can look real close, you can see that's where the new growth is. And new growth will go there too. And I just let it compost into my soil. Okay guys, so I'm gonna clean up the back porch real quick, clean up some of the leaves. I'm constantly cleaning up leaves, and just get things kind of spruced up. I do have a lot of zinnias to plant. These are little puts. These are saved zinnias that I saved from last year, and they're doing pretty good. Not all of them came up, so I might throw some seeds back in there. This container was completely full, and I planted over 100 zinnias, so that was a job, but I really like this method so far. I like seeing where the flower is actually gonna go and knowing that it's going to produce, and not just kind of guessing how many. And this way I don't have to really thin them out either. And I already ordered some seed starter mix, and I'm just going to continue to just kind of put things in here for the fall, and maybe some herbs, and just kind of keep things growing inside too. Keeps me away from the garden centers too, buying new stuff. So anyway, I'm gonna get this back porch cleaned up. Okay guys, so this is a saved coleus from last year, and you can see how great it survived the winter. I'm just gonna give it a little prune, and I also have a saved vinca, and it just has leaves right now, and I'm gonna give it a haircut too to promote some good growth. To pot up a couple plants to go next to the fountain. I'm just gonna shop my yard, find some stuff around my yard, including this thing. I think this is like an iris, and it's just a yellow flower, but I like the tropical look. This thing has been in my pot for probably 10 plus years. When we first moved here, I transplanted it to this pot, so it's definitely overgrown, and this is just a sedum. Oh goodness, let me see if I can pick this up. Yeah, look at all those roots. And so I'm just gonna take a good portion of this, and I think it'll look pretty around the pond. I think it'll be just fine to transplant it. So going back over here, what I'm gonna do, this is my debris bucket. I'm just gonna fill this pot up. That's just a burnt branch that we burnt in our burn pile with just random debris. Leaves. Here's another little burnt wood. There's a sunflower stalk. This is coleus. Okay, that should be good. And then I'm gonna fill the rest up with potting soil. I might put a few more twigs in. And this is good drainage, and this will just compost down into the soil. Okay, here's my potting soil. I'll just fill this up. You just use so much less potting soil when you do that. And when you're done, you can just throw it in your compost because it doesn't have any plastic or peanuts or anything weird in it. Okay, get it smashed down. I think that should be good. And I'm gonna go get some of those, I don't know what they are for sure, like a lily or something. Let's give it one more scoop, or maybe a couple more. There we go. Here's the plant. It just multiplies. It actually has a bulb. Look how big that is. And then if you can see, there's bulbs under there, and they have just been multiplying in that pot. Okay. I break up the roots here a little bit. This is another pot that I'm gonna plant. I'm gonna plant some lettuce in this pot. Okay. Let's see. This will probably overtake this pot for sure. That's okay. Okay, so I'm gonna pot up another one of those plants for the pond, or for the fountain, I should say.